Hey guys, so I think a good video today would be touching on how do you relate to your students while you're here teaching English in Japan on the JET program or any other sort of like ALT teaching experience. And I teach with elementary school students, so I'm not going to be talking to them about like politics or like things that are going on in the news or this sort of thing. I'm going to talk to them about like a couple core interests, and that's like, you know, primarily like three big things, which is like anime and video games, things that like the kids are watching like when they go home, and the things the kids are playing when they're walking home from school, when they're playing with their friends, when doing that sort of thing. Number two, probably being sports, just playing sports with them, not necessarily talking about like their favorite sports heroes or anything, but just talking about sports, passing the ball, playing soccer. Do you like sports? Do you like this? Do you know this sort of thing? Can you play tennis? Yes, I can. No, I can't. This sort of conversation. And then thirdly, talking about things like in your own town, like even something as simple as like the grocery store or city hall, which is like boring but kids know it oddly enough, or like, you know, little parks around the neighborhood, riding their bikes, this sort of thing. Things that kids do that we as ALTs, because we're living like, you know, we're this kind of in between where we're not really like adult figures in their lives, so we're kind of like class clowns. We play around with the kids, but we're also like their teachers at the same time. We have this kind of like unique relationship with them where we can play with them, we can talk with them, while we're also teaching them English. And so again, so the big thing is if you watch anime or you read manga or you play video games of any kind, you can probably find some sort of common ground with your students. For me, I watch a lot of anime, I play video games. Most recently, even though it's a touch old, I've been playing Pokemon Moon, which is not the newest game to come out, but it's also not like the oldest game either. And so the kids still know this game, and some of them are still playing it. And for a little while, like I knew this game came out, I knew about this game, and the kids were all saying Alola, which is how the characters in this game greet each other, because they're kind of on like a Hawaiian-inspired island, so instead of Aloha, they're saying Alola. And so the kids would come to me and do Alola, and they'd make all these poses while they're saying the greeting to me. And after I realized it was from Sun and Moon, I started saying it back to them. So Alola, Alola, I looked up some of the names from like the new Pokemon that are coming out. Like, of course, being a child of the 90s, I grew up on like the original Pokemon games. And I can talk to the kids about like what I know, and like see what they know too. So of course Pikachu, Lizardon, which is like the Charizard character, and a couple of other ones from the other generations, and then the new game, them teaching me about that, asking me about like, do you know about this Pokemon or this kind of type move, and this sort of thing. And I get to like practice really like weird Japanese with my kids, but also learning about like Pokemon, which is something I like and something they like and something we can talk about a lot. Same thing with anime. Like if you are into like, you watch Doraemon, or you watch any like shonen series like One Piece or Naruto, which ended, but Naruto, or things like that, these kids know these shows, and you can find these kind of common ground with these kids and talking about these things. Even if you're not a huge like fan of like anime or manga, if you can find one thing that the kids like, or you have one in particular show that they like, or a book that they like, or game that they like that you also know about, you can talk to almost anyone about that sort of thing, and they're all gonna like it. Girls and boys both like video games. Girls and boys both watch like Japanese animation here. Boys and girls both read manga, so you can find it like across gender, across like, you know, like boys, girls, like older kids in your school, younger kids in your school. Everyone's enjoying it. Two is probably sports, especially for me with like little kids, since I'm like kind of like a pretty outdoorsy, like I like to be, you know, playing sports or going for hikes, doing this sort of thing. I like to talk to the kids about this. And soccer is probably like, you know, baseball is historically probably like the biggest sport in Japan, and I'm not huge into baseball, but kids, for whatever reason, it seems to be shifting where kids are really into soccer, and I played soccer growing up. So I've had to learn the words for, you know, talking about soccer and positions and how to pass the ball and this sort of thing. But when I talk to them about it, especially the little boys, they get really into it. They're curious about like what position I played, like am I good at this? Can I kick a free kick? Do I know like certain famous Japanese soccer players? And when I don't, they tell me about them. They ask me questions about other sports. I had one kid who was like into really high level gymnastics. He was a 6th grader last year. He was like super strong at like, you know, huge arms for a little elementary school kid. And we just kind of find this common ground about like exercise and sports and, you know, moving around and playing outside and this sort of thing, which kind of leads to like the third thing too, which is like talking about around your like your area where you live, because you can find a lot of common ground talking about like the parks that you play at. Like outside of my house, there's a little park where a lot of kids come to play and they ride their bikes, they play in the swing, they do sort of things. So I can say, hey, I saw you in the park, or I can say, do you like to ride your bike? Where do you ride your bike? Do you play on the swing set? Do you know like the Kanonyama statue, which is like a big statue of Kanon, which is like a historical like Buddhist significance figure, I think. There's like a big statue that overlooks like a mountain I live by, and the kids all know it. There's like a place called the Hamagawa Pool, which a lot of the kids like swim at during the summertime because there's no ocean where I live. I'm in the middle of Japan in Gunma. So the kids go there to hang out during the summertime to swim and have fun. They know about like certain mountains or festivals, things that are happening in the city. And whenever something's going on, you can bet like the kids are going there. And if you go there, you can talk to them about it the next day. And you can form these bonds with your kids and make running jokes, and you can, you know, tease them and talk to them about when you saw them there, or they'll tease you and ask if like your friend was your girlfriend, or if your friend was your boyfriend, or if, you know, if you like this kind of food, or if you ate this sort of thing. And it can get really silly and it can get really fun, and you can find yourself like having really good conversations in like basic English or basic Japanese, or sometimes like depending on your level you can have like really high level conversations with the students too. But you know, it's a good way to, when you first get here, get to know your kids, because while they'll be excited to meet you and be like, oh my gosh, you're from America, oh my gosh, you're from Canada, oh my gosh, you're from Europe somewhere, oh my gosh, you're from South Africa, like wherever it is that you're from, you know, they'll be really excited to get to know you first because you're a foreigner and you're different. But then what's going to keep them coming back to get to know you more and more and more, and engage with you outside of just the fact that you look different, is your interests, right? Just like with anything else. So if you can talk to them about these things, you'll make friends quickly in school. They'll come up to you, they'll talk to you about like reoccurring events going on or new games or this sort of thing, and it'll just keep coming out. And if you can throw those references out in class, you'll just get them even more excited like during English time, which is already like a really fun time, at least in my school. So guys, those are a couple little points that you can probably use when you get here, or if you're already here and you're looking for things to relate to your kids about. If you liked the video, guys, hit like down in the like button below. It really helps me out. It feels good to like, you know, see those responses pouring in. I don't know what I'm saying. You know, subscribe if you like this kind of content, and if you have any sort of like requests for a future video, or if you want to see anything in the future, or just want to like talk to me or ask me questions about anything about Japan or the JET program or me in particular, like leave a comment in the comment section down below. I'll get back to you guys as quick as I can. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
These are my Pokemon, guys. I don't know if you play Pokemon or if you even like Pokemon, but these are the ones that I have. My team, I like my team. My girlfriend kicks my butt every single time I play her. Feels bad, man. But hey, these are still cool guys, right? Except for you. You're cool, but you die too quick. This is my go-to boy, Espion. What's up, bro?